Hello folks, welcome back to the Dark Hollow Garage. We got back from No Name Nationals, and I'm sure you probably saw, maybe you didn't. We had a few issues on the way home, 20 miles from the track. Drove that car since 2021, around August, September 2021 I was driving the car. I still had work to do to the car, had a ways to go. Well, I had never driven it on the interstate, and I had never had any issues with vibration until we decided to drive it to the No Name Nationals. So, turns out the yoke wasn't far enough up in the transmission. I never knew it. I found out. So, I've been working on it. Some of my parts are already here. I've been getting dirty and greasy. Look at that hat. Yeah. Anyway, so I've got it in the air, and I got the tail shaft off of it, and got the U-joints out of the drive shaft. And I did get a new yoke that was longer, and I got it extra long so I could cut it down and custom fit it. The old yoke, she tore up. Now, enough of my yakking. I've got all this work done, and I want to show you in a slideshow. I took photographs while I was working, and I'll narrate it and explain everything up to where I'm at right now. I hope you don't mind it being a slideshow. I got under there. I wanted to know what the hell was going on. So let's go check out the pictures. Okay, so right here, this is a photograph of the new yoke and the new tail shaft. I'm only showing you this because this is where the issue happened. Okay, let's go on to the yoke. Now, this worn down spot you see here on the tip of the yoke, it wasn't like that when we had the breakdown just outside of the racetrack. This wore down area happened from driving it from Sikeston to Nashville, and she's pretty bad. Now, in this picture you can see the copper. I think it's copper, I don't know, brass. You can see it, and then you see that like 1/4 inch wide groove all the way around there at the back of it. That's the only place that yoke seemed to be touching, which was kind of odd, but the yoke was too damn short. So it started eating these things up. This one here is the one that JB put in 20 miles from the track, and it barely made it back to Nashville. This picture is of the bushing that was in the car while I was drag racing it and driving it over from Nashville to Sikeston, and it spit this one out 20 miles from the track along with the seal. This photograph here is of the new tail shaft that I purchased and what the bushing and seal and everything is supposed to look like. Earlier I mentioned that I got a new yoke that was too long for a purpose. I wanted to make sure that I could cut this down to get full engagement on the splines in the transmission and be able to trim it down so it had enough travel to go, slip yoking with the rear end going up and down, over the interstate or over local roads or whatever, how these things are actually supposed to work. So this one here is quite a bit longer than the old one. Here's the new yoke and old yoke side by side. Now, this photo here is the new housing and bushing assembly that I purchased from Summit. And this is how far in the old yoke used to go in. Not very far. I mean, it was barely engaging into that bushing. And the crazy thing is, the repair kit that we got when we were on the side of the road and Lars and Mohawk went down and got, it was a way shorter bushing than what came out of it originally factory. This one here matches that this bushing here matches the factory bushing. It's the right length. But that's how little that drive shaft yoke engaged up in there. Now, this photograph is the new yoke, and it goes fully through the bushing all the way and protrudes out another, say about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. And when it's in this position, it has full engagement of the splines on the transmission output shaft, but still leaves an inch of room to go up and down with the suspension and slide back and forth. This is actually the brand new seal that we put in 20 miles away from Sikeston. It evidently got so hot it cracked it, and it also, this was hanging out of the back of the transmission when I jacked it up today at the house, so it fell out again too. We won't have any more trouble with this kind of stuff because we've got a brand new housing. We've got our brand new housing painted Pontiac blue, just like the transmission. This is a Speedway Motors tail shaft and bushing and seal. And I'm ready to put it in, but I'm waiting on the gasket for this. It hasn't shown up yet. We have the drive shaft U-joints already out. It's ready to go as soon as my new U-joints come in that are Moog Super Duty U-joints greasable. The car is up on blocks with the suspension. The weight of the car is on the suspension. So when I did all my measuring on it, everything was, where it's supposed to be, like the car was on the ground. And, yeah, just a little recap. We got our stickers on there. Yep. So we're in pretty good shape. All I'm waiting for now is 2 U-joints and a gasket. I could have had this put together today if I'd have just ordered everything from Summit, like I should have. But I got the U-joints from Rock Auto and I got the gasket off of eBay. I don't know why. That was a stupid move. But it's just about ready to go back together. That's my quick update for tonight. I'll let you all know when it goes back together. I'll try to film putting it back together for you. Thanks for watching.